It has been a long time since I've actually vlogged, or we've actually vlogged for our Martin Farms. So there's been a ton of things that has gone on since we last vlogged, and I feel like we need to touch on those things, but you're also going to see those videos because we did take footage. We just have been so busy with everything that we didn't post anything. We've been really slacking on our videos and our vlogs, so we're gonna get more of those out. Try and catch up, trying to fill you guys in. And yeah, so just to touch on some of the things that have happened. Actually, back in October when we first moved here, the plan was to propose to Maddie, because if you guys don't know, we were not engaged or married or anything. The plan was to propose to Maddie on a trip down to New Mexico where we met, you know, where I'm from. But upon moving and everything like that, it didn't happen. And so ended up moving here, getting everything done, getting everything situated, and a couple weeks after I wanted to do it, I had this whole thing planned out. Finally, you know, I finally popped the question. I do have footage from that. That's just one video, you know, all the way back from October that we never got posted. And so, you know, we've been super busy with getting ready for the wedding. The wedding's in July. And so we've been, you know, trying to hand make invitations. Believe it or not, Maddie is crazy, but I thought it was a cool idea. And so I decided, you know, why not? Like, go ahead, you know, let's try it. And she's done, you know, all of the work. I've helped a little bit, but when she goes home on drill weekends, her and her mom end up doing all the work. And so it's kind of cool. It's not kind of cool, it's really cool that, you know, we're gonna have handmade invitations, that we put so much work into it, but it is hard because we're trying to get them out and get people, because not everybody's, you know, from here. We're kind of, you know, in BFE, Washington, where nobody really knows. And so trying to get my family and everything like that kind of arranged to get here is a bit of a hassle, but that's okay. You know, I'm super excited for that. So that's one thing that also is happening that's super exciting. You know, I finally get to marry my best friend, and it's crazy, you know. So life is actually starting to change. And then we also processed 2 of our cows. So the 2 steers, Burke and Oreo, you guys saw them. You know, watch them grow from super little. And that's if you follow our Instagram page. And yeah, we ended up processing them. We just got them back. And it's crazy because I was pretty hesitant on raising a dairy steer for meat. Never done it before. My family was more, you know, Angus and Hereford and Red Angus and stuff like that, so I never really tasted dairy meat, so I'm kind of curious, you know, how it's actually gonna taste. We haven't eaten it yet, so but you'll see that in the other video. We also processed Hamlet. Now I'm gonna touch more of it in the video, but Hamlet was more of a he was supposed to be here for a matanza, which family from New Mexico and friends from New Mexico, they all know what that is. But for you that don't know what a matanza is, essentially it's, you know, a community coming together, and you kill this pig that you raised all year, and you just feed, you know, friends and family and everybody else from the community who wants to join and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Sorry about that. My phone actually died. And so I actually ran inside to grab some coffee, and I came back outside, and it was dead. I was saying about processing Hamlet, talking about the matanza. So I'll touch on that more in the video, kind of give the background of La Matanza and everything like that. But processing him myself was different. So I've never really like tried to process a pig down to actual cuts. Whenever we do the, you know, matanza and everything like that, realistically, you know, we shave him, and there's like fucking 12 men out there, you know, and the kids and stuff like that at 3 in the morning. You kill him and you shave him, and then you're processing him, and there's all these people just there around you. It was me and Maddie. And it wasn't even doing it the way I learned to process the pig, you know, for chicharrones, for carne lavada, for everything like that. It wasn't, that's not how we processed him. We tried to get, you know, ribs out of him, and, you know, actually get some chops and stuff like that, which I've never done before, especially, you know, for a pig. So I had to skin him and not, I don't know, it was just different. You know, it was, I was definitely out of my element. I don't have any of my family around me. It was, like I said, it was just me and Maddie. and we had the video. You'll see, it was just kind of funny. We tried to lure him away because it was after a big snowstorm and we didn't have anywhere to hang him, so we hung him in the garage, and that put all kinds of frozen fat all over the floor. So the whole time I was, you know, processing him, I was slipping, and it was just it was something else. But so yeah, we processed him. It was hard and fun, but you know, it was a good experience, and it was kind of cool to do something different and I guess challenge myself to learn and adapt kind of on the spot. So that was pretty fun. So now we actually have too much meat for our freezer. Don't have enough freezer space, so it's a good thing to have, but also kind of a bad thing. But there's new things happening this year. I know it's already, today's March 5th, so I'm trying to get our business, and not I myself, me and Maddie, you know, trying to get our business running a little bit more in the direction we want. We're actually selling all our goats. We're only keeping 2 bucklings because they're 3/4 boar. They're only, you know, 1/4 Nubian, which is fine. You guys saw them. We have, you know, bucklings and doelings, and we just got like kind of a mismatch group of goats. And so we're trying to get into what more we want and the breeds we want. And so we're kind of culling everybody. We're getting on the right path. We're basically starting from square one, which is hard, but it's fine because we got all those other animals super cheap, good deals, obviously not super great quality, but it was something for us to learn on. And so that's, in my eyes, that's fine. I feel like we're finally taking those steps to actually become a better farm and a fully functioning farm and a better, you know, business and everything like that. We talked about it back in January, but we wanted a word to be kind of our word for the year. You know, not necessarily goals. I mean, of course we have goals, and of course we're not like New Year's resolutioners, and if you do that, that's totally cool. But we're more of like, we like to set words for our year. And so this year it was discipline, meaning, and it's kind of like a blanket term. So meaning like discipline with, you know, our purchasing records, like all expenditures, income, everything like that. More discipline. So I guess you could say more discipline, you know, being organized, and then discipline, going to the gym more and being more focused on being healthier and growing not only, you know, the clothing side of our business, but also the farm side, but being organized and keeping them separate. And it's just like, so it's kind of hard to explain how we came up with the word discipline. It's just being disciplined in all aspects of bettering yourself, I guess is the way to say it. And so that's what we're gonna do. And that's what our plan is. And so that's kind of our word for the year, is discipline. And we're taking those steps. Sometimes I feel like we're not, and sometimes I feel like we're in a lull and we just can't get on the right track, but we actually are. We're taking those steps, we're getting ready, we're moving forward, we're falling forward. Like, we're failing, but as we fall, like, we're actually falling in the direction that we need to go. We're kind of guiding ourselves. It's kind of like a big tree, you know, whenever it's falling, and you have the guys that have it all set up and they plan it. That's what we're trying to do, is basically a whole bunch of falling forward. And the more we fail, you know, the more forward progression I want us to take. And so I feel like we're doing that. And sometimes it's hard to actually know if you're doing the right thing or if you're making the right decisions to better yourself. And, you know, I stress about it. Everybody stresses about it. I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, oh, you know, I'm positive all the time. No, it's hard. Definitely hard. And it's a constant roller coaster, and things just pile up 24/7. And, you know, on top of everything that's happening, we actually got some great news. It puts the stress level a little bit higher, but we got some great news. And I'm not going to tell you what that is yet. I don't want to say it by myself, but we got some great news happening. And so that's just adding to it, you know, like Iron Barn Farms family is growing, and, you know, we're getting more goats and more everything, and more people we talk to, more people we sell to. We're developing relationships with a ton of people, and I love it. And we actually deliver eggs, so that's not a lot. That's not what people normally do. I've noticed is farms usually have people come to them. We tried that, but where we're located, it's kind of hard for people to come out here. And to be real honest, you know, we're 15 minutes from town, and it's kind of hard to find us. The GPS really doesn't give you the best coordinates to get to our house. And so we actually started delivering eggs, and we try to do it, you know, every order we'd go out immediately and try to deliver it, and that got hectic. That was just, we have so many people trying to buy from us, it was just crazy. And so we ended up doing, you know, only Saturdays. And so basically if everybody gets their order in by Friday or early Saturday morning, you know, we pack all those up and we go out and we, you know, talk to government customers. But I work on Saturdays, and so usually it's Maddie. Maddie's the one talking to the customers and everything like that. And she's, you know, setting everything up on Facebook and, you know, other messengers or emails and stuff like that we get our orders in, and getting everything squared away. And I don't know, it's cool because, you know, those times that I'm able to go, you know, I love talking to people. I love, you know, meeting new people and developing relationships, like I said. But it's cool seeing how me and her both interact with people differently. We're both friendly, don't get me wrong, and we're both very alike. We just have very different mannerisms whenever we're talking to people, whenever we're developing relationships with people. And so it's cool. Like, I feel like that's the whole goal, the whole reason we started social media for the farm and started vlogging and getting out of our, you know, shells and, you know, getting rid of that camera shyness, that was hard. Still kind of hard, but, you know, getting out there and just like putting yourself out there, that was like the whole reason, was because we just like developing relationships with people. We want to be transparent. You know, I want people to be able to, you know, ask, hey, can we go see your farm? Like, of course, you know, and they come out and they see the animals and they develop relationships with these animals, and they can see the meat that they're going to eat in a few months, you know, whenever it's processed. They can see it go from square one, you know, the whole process of how it goes. And I've said this multiple times in our Facebook posts or in our Instagram posts, but what I love about fitness and farming and how it both correlates together is you have to trust the process and you have to be patient. And what I mean by that is, like, so for fitness, you know, for like guys who are prepping for bodybuilding shows, girls who are prepping for bikini competitions or bodybuilding shows or physique competitions or powerlifters, strongmen, everybody in the fitness industry, whether it's even basketball, stuff like that, what I love about it is it's not immediate results. Now, don't get me wrong, you can get better, you know, decently overnight. Like, you get like what we call newbie gains and stuff like that. Like, you know, you start lifting, all of a sudden you start getting a little bit more trim, your body starts transforming. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like when you try to get to that elite or that finished product, getting ready for a show. Like, there's a whole process and a whole thing of planning and just like getting ready and setting your tasks and doing everything that you need to do to know on this one day you need to be ready. And that's why we love, and I think that's the very, very base love, or the most pure form of affection we have for these two things. You know, it was, you know, fitness and farming, and they sound so outlandishly different. And usually farmers don't lift. Like, let's be honest, usually people who work hard for a living, they're like, oh, that's my workout for the day. I have a very, you know, physical job, which, you know, I totally understand that. And, you know, my dad, he has a very physical job. He climbs up and down 200-foot water tanks and welds all day, like, extremely physical job. But when he started going to the gym now at, you know, like 55 through 60, last 5 years, you know, he's seen a difference in being able to work. Granted, at first he was sore, you know, couldn't weld, you know, couldn't hold his arm up and stuff like that. But, like, he started getting more fit and more strength, and his knees started feeling better, and he was able to perform his hard labor job better because he was actually staying fit. And so that's why I feel like a lot of these farmers feel like they're like, oh, I have no time. I used to be one of those guys that took 3 hours to lift. Now, I try to, you know, get all my lifting done in an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I used to think that was crazy. There's no way to do it. My priorities changed. My style of training changed. And so, like, there's this whole thing of just like maintenance, besides, you know, trying to get as stupid strong as I could. It's just, everything has changed. But it's still fitness. It's still part of the fitness, you know, umbrella. And the same thing with farming. Like, we bought Daisy and Prince together, okay? You know, Dince, Prince bred to Daisy, and then we saw the whole process. Like, we bought them. That was the beginning of the process. We were over in Rochester. You know, she got pregnant. while we're in Rochester. It started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Was watching it just grow. And then we moved here while still watching her grow. And then she had her kids. Now her kids popped out. Now those 2 bucklings we're keeping so that we can breed to our, you know, next herd of Sonnens or whatever female goats we're gonna get. And then the process starts over, and it just keeps going. And it's just like a bodybuilder, you know, doing one show and then getting ready for the next show, and year by year by year. And it's, you just get better and better and better and better. So like, we're gonna get better, you know, at training and knowing what we need to do to stay physical enough to where we can perform things on the farm. And then, you know, we're gonna get better at, you know, seeing signs of what genetically we don't want to keep breeding into our herd, you know, like, you know, chronic lameness, or, you know, seeing signs like that. So we're just getting better every time, and it's by trusting that process. And sometimes it feels like it's not working, and sometimes it doesn't. You know, thought one of our goats was pregnant, one of them ended up not. She was just getting fatter. And that's, I totally relate to that, because I thought I was getting stronger, and came to find out I was just getting fatter. Anyways, but what I'm trying to say is, like, that whole process of beginning to end is, I think, what really drew both of us towards fitness and now farming, and now trying to keep the 2 running together. Because it's cool to see that process. Holy shit, I rambled. And I need to leave for work.